Friends and professionals, what's up? Happy Monday. Welcome to another Modern Lending Lab Live. Housekeeping. Before we get into this incredible topic that all of you, it's relevant to every single person in the world today, let's talk about the Modern Lending Lab coming up on August 20th, 11 Pacific, called One More Loan. We're switching up the style of this thing. You're going to want to come and hang out. Open to everybody, no strings attached. This isn't a recruiting call. This is a place for all of us to come and get better together. I love it. I love the collaboration. 500 plus loan officers. You're going to love it. This section's called One More Loan, where, let me get this mic a little closer. Bam. We're interviewing literally the best loan officers around, asking them, what would they do today to get one more loan? What would you do today to get one more VA loan, one more renovation loan, one more cash out refinance in this market? Do not miss this live back and forth collaboration with some of the best in the industry. You're going to love it. One more loan. All right. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this right now. This little, look at this book. This is it. This is the whole book. Nothing really going on. Who Moved My Cheese? Have you read this book? I have 6 copies of this book in my desk because every now and then I give them away. I talk about it all the time because, good Lord, change apparently is the only constant in mortgage. That's it. Who knew change was in mortgage along with the T, but it's here. And if you think about just the radical change in the last couple of years, you think about what happened with COVID, interest rates, the political environment, the monetary world we live in, the monetary resources thrown at COVID, the inflation, the economic and political climate. Oh my God, like, what are we doing? And so many people out there are sitting here with hope as a strategy. And that's what we just want. That's what I want to share with you today about mindset and about willpower and what to do. So if you've not read this book, I'm going to hit you some of the short and sweets of it all. The story is about 2 mice in a maze, and there's people in there. Don't go to, okay? I know. 2 mice hanging out, and they're going to this place where their cheese is every single day. And they know where their cheese is. They figured it out, and every single day they go there. And one day they show up, and it's gone. Someone has moved the cheese. And this little parable is a story about what to do next. And there's very interesting things that you can learn from this book. And I'm going to kind of pull out some of the highlights for your career, for our lives right now. Number 1, your cheese is going to get moved. I can't help that. No one can help that. Your cheese is going to get moved. Something's going to happen. And it's funny, I look back over my career in mortgage lending, and my cheese has been moved thousands of times. Oh my gosh. You go back to the pre-crisis, you go back to product changes, you go back to Dodd-Frank, you go back to the first mortgage crisis when everyone's world was flipped over upside down. You look at COVID, you look at today, it's just everywhere. And right now, the frustration is everyone wants the market to change. And I'll be clear, not everyone. There's some people out there owning this market, having exceptional careers in this market right now because they've figured out that their cheese moved. They got to evolve. They have to adapt. And so they're doing that every single day. And so here's one of the parallels that I want to draw out. What the mice didn't notice every day is as they were going back to where their cheese was, is they weren't noticing the small changes that were happening every single day. Like they were eating the cheese, so it was diminishing every single day, and they weren't really paying attention to it. So to the point that they were shocked when they showed back up and everything was gone. Is that happening in your career today? Is the cheese moving slowly? You see, what I loved about the first crisis, not that there was a crisis, but it forced everybody to radically change. You didn't have a choice. Your company shut down. Your products went away. You had to physically, radically change your business model overnight because the market mandated it. It happened. This change is radically different. Everyone's cheese is getting a little smaller. Consumers are finding new ways to get access to information, to find loans, find lenders. And I wrote a whole book on this called Bypassed. This is what's happening. They're bypassing their traditional paths to new paths. And the sales professionals aren't adapting. Your cheese pile is getting slower and lower every single day, and you're not paying attention. It's like a death of 1,000 cuts. You're like, oh, Alec, I just do things I've always done. I'm doing the same things I've always done. My business is getting lower. It must be the market. It must be the rates. It must be the environment. Wrong. It's you not adapting to the world around you. I know that's coming at, that's super intense, like just hitting you in the face with it. but it's true. I want to give you an example. I'm going to be very specific in this example. I built my entire business in the glory days off of personal one-to-one relationships with real estate professionals. That was the handbook. That's what I was told to do. Go get 8 business cards from agents before I can come back in the office. That was the book. So I went to the broker preview and open houses, and I found agents everywhere I could. And I built personal relationships and eventually convinced them or tricked them that I was trustworthy. And I ended up getting referral business, growing that database, staying connected to my clients. This is a tried and true method. But if you're doing that today, right now, if you've been doing that for 10 years or 5 years and you're still doing that today, guess what? It's still relevant. Please keep doing this. But the reason that your cheese pile is shrinking down is because consumers are changing the pathways they take to getting the information they want. Be more specific, Alec. Okay. Back in the previous glory days when the MLS was private, a consumer couldn't find what houses were for sale unless they were driving around or looking in the newspaper or calling an agent. So that's what they did. Today, if they want to find what's for sale, what do? Pull this device of all human knowledge out of their pocket, start looking around. Do they start clicking buttons? They start asking ChatGPT. Do they start figuring out new ways to get information? Absolutely. And in those new pathways, they're finding your competition. So while you're still going back to the same well for the same chunk of cheese every single day and just calling on agents, going face to face, going belly to belly, which you need to do, don't mishear me. Don't just dump this strategy. It's still really relevant, but if you keep doing that, then what about all these other places that people are getting business? YouTube, social media, podcasting, etc. All the digital means that have now come forward today that you're just abdicating for a competitor to exist in that space, your cheese is going to get shrunk and shrunk and shrunk till you turn around and go, what happened? Well, AI took my business. AI didn't take your business. You left it when you refused to evolve. So that's the first parallel. Don't be shocked by the incremental changes to your business. That's your cheese moving. The mice weren't paying attention, and one day they showed up and they're like, it's all gone. Don't let that happen to you. Figure out what's changing around you today and start to evolve. The second parallel that I think I love the best in this book, because it just talks about it, really to me, it's a connection to a personal accountability. If you ever hear me yell at anybody, personal accountability is the most impactful, important thing that anyone should own to transform your career and your life, period. Your results are your fault and your responsibility. If you can hold on to that no matter what, how did you fail this? How did you control this? How did you not control this? Oh my gosh, you're going to win 1,000 times out of 1,000. Because if it's all your fault, then it's all your fault, which means you can change it. That's just power, not weakness, not victimhood. I love it. So one of the parallels in the story is that the mice, as soon as one of the mice, the people stayed and were whining about their cheese was gone, but the mice, no cheese, what do? They moved on. They started to explore the maze. They re-engaged. They found new pathways to new cheese. That, to me, is so great. It's just immediate ownership, accountability. Yeah, maybe they weren't paying attention that the cheese was slowly diminishing and they got back and it wasn't there anymore. So instead of lamenting that the cheese is gone, they immediately started running the maze to find the next cheese. If change is the only constant in mortgage, your only response is to change with it. I heard, I can't remember who told me this, a great mentor. I want them to be a great mentor. It could have been a guy on the street. I don't know. But they said to me, Alec, it's always better to choose your change. And if you're constantly evaluating what's moving around, what's changing, what's going left, what's going right, and you're constantly adapting, you're constantly choosing your change. And that is empowering and life-giving. And I loved that parallel because right now in this business, you can do two things. You can hope and pray that the rates are going to come down. But that's not going to solve your problem. The reason it's not going to solve your problem because if the rates come down, you're still doing what you've always been doing. It might band-aid a little solution. You might get a couple more deals, but it's not going to solve the problem. I was on a great panel at a conference, and one of the topics was just that the evolution of servicing. The evolution of servicing. Do you know how good servicing companies are getting these days? Do you think they're just going to sit by and let your book of business just go back to you? and I'm just going to say it right now. You're going to lose that business. Your email drip campaign sucks, and that client has already blocked you or unsubscribed. They're not going to come back to you. They're probably annoyed by you. And the second that their servicer, who they're paying every month, proactively calls them to lower their interest rate, you're going to lose. Sorry, it's a whole new world. How are you adapting today, right now? And I'll even give you granular tips right now. Have you pre-approved your refinance pipeline? This was a concept for me that I was like, I've never heard of this before. What do you mean pre-approved my refinance pipeline? Yeah. Have you pre-approved and pre-qualified your refinance pipeline? Have you looked at the customers you know that you're going to refinance first? Have you found them? Have you identified the people that are at the high sixes or sevens that you're going to take down to fives or low sixes when that market's here? Do you know who that list is? Do you have that list at your fingertips? Or the second rates move, are you going to be going to your CRM that you've never used before, trying to figure out how to pull the report? Which type of originator are you? Because the cheese is moving. And so the best ones I know have already pre-approved or pre-qualified their refinance pipeline. They've already called their clients ahead of time and said, hey, Alec, rates are going to come down. I don't know when, you don't know when, none of us know when, but rates are going to come down. And when they do, I want to call you or text you and drop your payment for free, no closing costs, whatever their pitch is. You feel this. You don't even need me to explain it. They've already queued up their refinance pipeline. So that if somebody comes in outside of that and goes, hey, Alec, you want to get a lower payment? They go, hey, I'm already working with my guy. He's already got me set up. Don't worry about it. I'm all set. That's defensive and offense playing together. That's incredible professionalism. Have you done any of that? Your cheese has moved. The game has changed. The place and the playing field has shifted. So what are you doing to evolve and adapt? This book is so relevant, not just to the things that come out of left field at you and you have to change, that just kind of pop up and you're like, well, I guess you're doing this now, but to the things that haven't changed yet. Are your eyes open? Are you seeing it happening? And you can do this at so many different levels. What's happening at your company? Are they growing or shrinking? What's happening? It's such a great lesson to pull your eyes up out of the minutia into the world today, look around, identify what's changing, and start to evolve and adapt. Ask yourself, when was the last time you changed your strategies? When was the last time you looked and learned to see if somebody else was doing it better? When was the last time you challenged yourself to do something new and uncomfortable in sales? Choose your change. Because regardless of if you choose to change or not, change is a coming. So that's my encouragement for you today. Join us on August 20th, Modern Lending Lab. We're bringing everybody together to talk about how to get one more loan. And if that's you right now, if you're like, I need to get one more loan, join us. I'll send you the link. It's a free, no obligation Zoom. Come hang out with a bunch of great originators trying to get better. But on my final note, your cheese is moving, my friends. The pile is getting smaller if it hasn't already gotten small enough for you to notice. The things you did in the past are not going to serve you into the new ways the consumer's operating in the future. The things you did in the past are not going to serve you in the new ways the consumer is operating in the future today, right now. That's opportunity, baby. That's not a threat. That's your chance to go play a different game while everybody else sits back and just keeps hoping their cheese doesn't move. All right, go have a kick-ass week. I'll see you on the lab on the 20th.